Jack Miller didn't believe in ghosts. He was a restoration expert with years of experience fixing up abandoned structures, and when a wealthy client hired him to restore Raven's Rock Lighthouse off the coast of Maine, he thought it would be just another job. The lighthouse, long abandoned, had a reputation. Locals whispered of curses, vanished keepers, and strange noises, but Jack dismissed the stories. The pay was good and the work straightforward. The boat captain who dropped him off wasn't so dismissive. 3 days, the man grumbled. That's all you'll last. People don't come back from here. Jack smirked. It's just an old building. The island greeted him with a sharp wind and a dense fog. The lighthouse loomed above the rocky shore, battered by time but still standing strong. As the captain's boat disappeared into the mist, Jack couldn't shake the sense of being watched. Inside the lighthouse, Jack found the keeper's quarters dusty but intact. On a small table, he noticed a leather-bound journal. The first page read, Elias White, Keeper, 1922. The early entries were dull, notes on passing ships, weather updates, and routine repairs. But soon the tone darkened. They call to me from the water. It isn't the wind. They know my name. Shapes move in the fog. I see them at night, watching. I can't fight it. They want me to join them. Jack frowned. It sounded like the ramblings of a lonely man. He set the journal aside and got to work. By late afternoon, the fog thickened, swallowing the island in gray. While Jack worked outside, a faint voice called his name. Jack! He froze, scanning the shoreline, but saw no one. The voice came again, soft and distant. Jack, come closer. Jack approached the edge of the cliff, peering into the waves below. For a moment, he thought he saw something, a dark shape moving beneath the water. Then it vanished. Shaking off the unease, he returned to the lighthouse. That night, as he lay in the cramped bed, he heard footsteps echoing above him in the tower. Grabbing a flashlight, Jack climbed the stairs to the beacon room. The space was empty, but the lens glowed faintly, casting an eerie light. Jack touched it. It was cold and damp like seawater. Must be condensation, he muttered, though he wasn't convinced. The next day, the whispers grew louder. Jack tried to ignore them, focusing on his repairs, but by evening the sense of unease became unbearable. From the window of the living quarters he saw them. Figures stood near the shore, half hidden in the fog. They were impossibly tall, their limbs too long, their glowing white eyes fixed on the lighthouse. Jack's chest tightened. He locked the doors and tried to distract himself with Elias's journal. On one of the final pages he found crude sketches of the figures. Beneath them, Elias had scrawled, "Don't look at them, don't listen, or you'll never leave." That night the whispers gave way to scratching. It started faintly, like branches brushing against the walls, but soon grew louder, more insistent. Jack grabbed a wrench and opened the door, his flashlight slicing through the dark. No one was there. Then he saw them, closer now, standing at the base of the lighthouse. Their pale, shimmering bodies seemed to blend with the fog, but their glowing eyes pierced through the darkness. Locked on him. Jack retreated up the stairs to the beacon room, hoping the height would protect him. But when he glanced at the glowing lens, his blood ran cold. His reflection stared back at him, but it wasn't right. It smiled, a wide, unnatural grin, and spoke. "You belong to us now." Jack stumbled back, but the reflection remained, its glowing eyes matching the figures outside. 3 days later, the captain returned to find the lighthouse silent. Jack's tools and supplies were